Hello, welcome to another crypto chart. I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Brazil, and today we start with the S&P and then we go to the crypto markets. Shall we? Well, the thing is, S&P is not giving a damn to the coronavirus threat because, well, yesterday it went down a little bit, as we can see here in the intraday chart, because of the new cases of the virus that we can take a look in here. But yeah, that's what happened from yesterday to today. About 14,000 new cases were reported, but that is because they changed the way they are doing the diagnosis. So the market was a little afraid at the beginning, but then it just relaxed, and we just made new all-time high in the S&P, in the mini S&P, and also in the S&P here, as you can see, we have a new all-time high. The market has reached so far 3,393.9, and the last is 3,365.9. So I've already talked in the channel about the projections that we can make of this break, of this very important resistance level. First, we projected the high of this ascending triangle, which has been reached so far, and then we can project this whole upward movement from that starts in 2016, took 2 years and a month or something to reach a upward movement from bottom to top of approximately 52%. Now the market in a year and 2 months so far has gone 40.9%. So it's going faster this time. The next objective is here at 3683. Which means another approximately 9% upward movement for the S&P. So apparently Trump is going to be elected, because if the market falls, off it goes the second turn for Trump. But if the economy remains strong, there's a very high probability for him to win. This may be eventually, history is going to talk about that, but this eventually may be one of the reasons why things are going up. Actually, the thing is, the market is liking the 450 billion approximately that the Fed has poured into the market. So now that said, let's go to cryptos, which is what interests the channel here. Starting with Bitcoin, shall we? Are you still bullish in Bitcoin, Fausto? Oh yeah, I'm very bullish. Just for those that are new in the channel, if you're new in the channel, well, please don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. That helps the channel. I said in the last video that I'm thinking of putting on a channel just for English language. And if you subscribe to the channel, don't forget to click the bell, so you're going to be advised whenever I upload a video. Okay, so back to Bitcoin. Here's the thing. As I was saying, for you that's new to the channel, one could imagine that this weekly chart would have produced waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But no, because I cut it. I deleted this first movement because I consider this the birth of Bitcoin. It went from $0 to $5. So in terms of cycle, I think we should consider Bitcoin starting at 5. So considering that, we would have so far wave 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a corrective wave. I can name it wave 4, and this is consequently this is an upward movement, especially because we have so far, and now we go to the daily chart. We have it's not daily, this is hourly. So we had so far breaking the resistance trend line here and produced a first upward impulsive wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this corrective wave corrected so far 50% of this upward movement. As we can see, if we draw Fibonacci from here until there, you see 50% correction. So I think we're just starting wave 3 of wave 5. Is it wave 3 of wave 5, or is it wave 3 of wave 1 of wave 5? I don't know. But the thing is, as I said many times here too, where's the market going? I don't know. But if the market repeats the last portion of wave 3, it's heading so far to $60-some thousand. If it repeats wave 3, which is this other blue segment here, it's going so far to $300-some thousand. And if it repeats wave 1, it's going so far to, it could go to $750,000, very close to $1 million. What do I think? Well, I think the wave 5 is that carries the most of the euphoria of the market. You know, can you imagine what's going to happen if Bitcoin breaks $20,000? Woof! It's going to be a frenzy. It's going to be a hype so big that, you know, everybody's going to be willing to buy Bitcoin, and it's going to go up, 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 up and away. We don't know where is it going. I think I have good reasons in fundamental terms to think that Bitcoin may reach $1 million, because I think it's going to substitute the dollar as the world currency. Is it going to take long? Well, if you ask a guy called José Luis Cordeiro, he's going to tell you in his speeches. Look for him in the internet, in YouTube. José Luis Cordeiro. He talks about the evolution of technology, and he says that things are going to happen much faster than we can imagine. The same way as we couldn't imagine that 10 years ago or 12 years ago that we didn't have these. We had 12 years ago, we had the first iPhone that did nothing. It was just a phone, right? And now we carry all this in our pockets. We couldn't imagine that. Same way, we don't imagine today what's going to happen in 10 years. Oops, the thing is, it's not going to be 10 years. It's going to be 2 years. Or maybe it is happening right now in front of our eyes, you know. I believe very much in this theory. So I think the change and the usability, adaptability, the tokenization of securities is going to happen so much faster than we can imagine now. So that's why I think the most favorable possibility is what's going to happen, which means Bitcoin is going to repeat, or even it's going to make a wave 5 bigger than all the waves. So meaning that it could easily reach $1 million. I'm with John McAfee with that, except that I'm not cutting any part of my body. And so this is it. Let's move forward. Next one is here, the ones that we're keeping an eye on. But first I want to show you the calls that we made so far for 6 cryptos. We had 8, but now 2 of them have stopped, and we've left with these 6 positions. First one is Bitcoin Cash. Why did we recommend it? Because it breaks this resistance line here, trend line, and then it produced a sort of a triangle, ascending triangle maybe, and now it's doing a flag after having breaking this resistance level here. It's flagging up. The objective is 0.065. Next one is Bitcoin. Yes, we're long in Bitcoin. We've recommended it when it just broke this top here at $9,570, and our stop is up here in 99.88. We can see what we did with our stop if you look in the hourly chart here. That's the original stop. Then we moved the stop to here, and then we moved it to here, so meaning we don't lose anymore because we buy here. If the market breaks comes to this level, we're going to sell out. And now we raise the stop. We raise the stop because we think the market could, make a pullback here and then go up. But eventually it's going to make an ABC, and we're giving it room until 10,000. We are considering that the market shouldn't correct more than 10,000, so we gave a little leeway here. Stop is at 99.88. If it reaches there, we're out. We take this profit here, and that's it. Wait for another opportunity. Cardano, we just recommended it when it was, sorry about that, a little too quick here. When it was at breaking this ascending triangle here, see? And that meant it would also break this resistance trend level too. And it's probably going to reach its resistance, its objective, which is at 960 satoshis. So far, going to the hourly chart, we've placed the stop. It was supposed to be below here, but we gave it another little chance. Eventually it can drop fast here. It should hold here. If it doesn't, then it should hold there. It's a Satoshi away from this low. This low is 36. Our stop is 35. And we enter at 34. So we're heading out even if we're stopped so far. But we think it's going to go up to its objective at 960 satoshis. Next one is EOS. Well, what's happening to EOS? I just, produced what I think is going to be called as if it reaches this objective here, we can call this as an inverted head and shoulders bottom formation. So afterwards, it produced a sort of an ascending triangle. We recommend it when it just broke this ascending triangle formation, when the market was at 47,260 satoshis. And we can see in the hourly chart here, what have we done so far? Well, we're seeing the market go sideways here in this range. We could already place the stop below these lows here. There's 3 lows for that. But, let the market flag. Let it flag up. Go into the daily chart. See, it can produce a more volatile flag here, as I think it's doing. So, but if it comes below that level that you can see here in the hourly chart, which, actually we freed 50,000 satoshis, and that's it. That's the leeway that we give it to come down. If it go further, we're out, and then we wait for another opportunity. That's it. Ethereum, so far we've recommended 2 when it was at 0.023234. And the objective is 0.033. Why was that? Because it broke this resistance trend line. It gave us a rectangle here. I'm going to show you that we went in the market here. We went out in here because it was reaching a very important resistance level. So we tightened our stop and we went out. Whenever it came out of that, we entered the market again. And it's going so far very good. Soon enough, we're going to raise that stop. If the market breaks this, that's one thing we just decided today. See, normally we put the stop below the second technical event. Technical event and not support, because you might have a trend line here. If you have a trend line here, the trend line is going to be the first technical event, and the second is going to be the first support level. So in practice, what we do whenever you have a trend line, we tighten our stop to, instead of being in the second support level, we tighten it to the first support level, because the first technical event is the trend line, right? So now we don't have the trend line yet, because we would have had so far only 2 touches in this trend line here, this one and this one here. But as this is a elder cousin of these ones, okay, during this period we would place the stop below the second. Over here it was first, second. Whenever it broke that, first, second over here. Now it's first, second. Now if the market breaks these more time consuming, it took longer, right, a bigger accumulation, we're moving the stop right below this one here. So we're sort of inventing a rule that helps us tighten our stop as well. So that's just a consideration of what we do here, administrating the positions. Another thing that we do is that I establish the positions and my partner takes care of the stops and whenever of the administration of the position. That's because as I created the position, I tend to have a certain I tend to I have a tendency to appreciate, to have a certain consideration for the position, and you shouldn't, nobody should ever have any consideration to any position. You know, a position betrays you whenever you blink your eye, so don't be mercy with it. Do what has to be done. If it threatens to take off your profit, the profit that is showing in your market position, or if it threatens to give you a loss, tighten your stop and get out, because there's a lot of other crypto assets that are actually nowadays it's out of time, right? I've been saying this in the channel in the last 2 videos, I think, but it was very technically speaking clear that there were many altcoins giving signs that they would break resistance trend lines and break resistance levels and start trending up. So just change. Don't like any position. I said the other day that if your friend or anybody you know, fellow trader, tells you that he likes some of the coins, you just give him an advice for him to go twice a week in a shrink, do some analysis, and he'll cure that. Because we don't like assets. We like what assets produce to us, which is profit. Actually, don't even like profits. We like what we can do with that money, right? To travel, to buy a better glass of wine, to be relaxed about the payment of the bills and in the month, to be able to help your relatives or your family and things like that. That's what we care for. So you shouldn't like any coin or asset. Remember that. Okay, back to business here. We were talking now about Monero. Monero made a bottom formation here, which is a inverted head and shoulders. I suppose we're going to be able to call it that if it reaches the objective that can be projected from the inverted head and shoulders here. So the objective is here, 0.0104, and so far it's good. It's doing great. We have a stop that already puts us in the profit side. Let's take a look here in the hourly chart. Yeah, in the profit side, our stop is 0.008688. We entered at 0.8657, so we're even now. Let's put it this way. But soon enough, I think we're going to be able to raise the stop and make a nice profit in this position because Monero is promising. So this is it. Now I'm going to tell you the ones that we're keeping an eye on, starting with here, Augur, which is flagging up, testing this resistance level here, about 0.0016. So we think this is going to end up with the market heading up. That's why we're keeping an eye on it. In the hourly chart, we're going to have to wait until it gave us a false upward signal here. But we think it's coming back just for a pullback, and it's going high up again. So whenever it goes up again, I think it's time to put it in the portfolio. Now, BET is the next one, and just broke as resistance line, made a pullback today. Let's take a look in the hourly chart. Yeah, kind of. No? Sometimes this is a bad tick. But no, this was de facto. It came down and came down again. So 2 pullbacks, and it's holding tight above this resistance level. Back to the daily chart. I think it's flagging up, and whenever it breaks this accumulation here, it's going to be breaking these resistance level also 3,500 satoshis. And whenever it does that, I think you know, that's a very important resistance level, 3,500 satoshis. So it's keeping an eye on that, considering that it already broke this resistance trend line here also. So we have an objective for BAT, which is well, around 5,000 satoshis, which would mean from now there till there approximately 70% upward movement. Now Binance, we're just a flip away of recommending it again, because we got this upward movement here, but whenever it was here, reached its objective at here at 0.00248, which was the stop of November here, it was producing actually, by the way, a reversal candlestick. That was before the close. Let's take a look what happened in the close. We have to go to the hourly chart here. Yeah, that was it. Well, yeah, it was kind of, no, it was this day here, around here, but then it came back and hold up there. But anyway, it's flagging up above the resistance trend line, so I think this is going to be confirmed as a bottom, and it is a bottom in a very important support level. Binance coin is a asset that has been accumulating while the whole market came down 90% or something or more. So that's a project that I admire, and I think has a lot to grow. And you know, they keep burning their coins and inventing new things for you to use it. There's 90 things that you can do with Binance coin nowadays. So we're keeping an eye on this flag. Whenever it gives an indication that it's going to break this flag, we're probably going to be recommending it again. Next one is BitShares. BitShares. Well, BitShare was made by the same guy, Dan Larimer, the same guy that made EOS and what's that other one? And I forgot the name. But anyway, that's well, this is a continuation pattern, I would say. And it seems that it's escaping from this continuation pattern right now. Yes, because it broke apparently this resistance level here. And let's see, maybe it will produce a flag here, and then breaking the flag, I think it's the signal for us to enter the market, put it in our portfolio. So that's why we're keeping an eye on it. Link. Well, I am very, 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 very much bullish on Link, but it went up, and unfortunately, we didn't manage very well our stop order. We placed it here, and so far we've been stopped in this little kiki that the market made today. So no problem, we're keeping an eye on it on the hourly chart. Whenever it tells us that it's going to be breaking this sort of flag here, that's not a flag to be considered because it's happening within an accumulation. But well, we're keeping an eye on that. We have the 15-minute chart to keep an eye, and it's okay. Whenever the market gives us another indication, we're entering, because you know the objective, and we can see it better in the hourly chart. It's here in 0.0013, which would mean an upward movement of approximately 230%. And the objective is here because we consider that as being a ascending triangle, higher bottoms and tops at the same level. So that's the objective. So we're keeping a very close eye in Link. For you that don't know, Link is the coin that pretends to make the link of all smart contracts and their they're how you say that, oraculous, because every smart contract needs what's an oracle? Is a database. It's a database. Like for instance, I can bet with you that my team is going to win next year's championship, a national championship. So we put half a Bitcoin each of us, and we deposit in the smart contract. And within a year, the smart contract wakens up and goes to reliable sources of information to see if I was right or you were right. So he has to go to database. And which is the biggest database in the world? Well, it's called Google, if you didn't remember. And Google, by the way, invested in Link. So I consider that Google, thank you very much, Larry Page and your partner. You've done the research for us. Thank you very much. All I have to do is wait for the technical signal in order to enter in the right timing, because that's what technical analysis is all about, isn't it? The right timing. Yes, in the stock markets, people used to say that you have to know what to buy, when to buy, when to buy. What to buy is stock picking. You would go towards fundamental analysis, doing the top-down analysis. And then you would pick the stocks with fundamental analysis and wait for the right timing with technical analysis. I mean, pick the stocks with fundamental analysis and then wait for the timing with technical analysis. But you know what? That's not important. That's just 20% of the of your grade to see whether you're going to be successful or not in this speculation business. 80% of it is not what to buy or when to buy, is how much to buy. And you know what? Books talk very little about that. That's the most important thing. That's connected to a subject called, that's named position sizing, and that's the most important thing you have to do before a trade. You have to calculate the size of your position, that given the distance of your stop, of the stop you're going to place right after you place your position, given the distance, if the amount of your capital that you invested in that position, if you're stopped, you won't lose more than 1% of your capital. Okay? If the stop is 10% away, easy to do the accounting. Okay? Suppose you have 1 Bitcoin and the stop is 10% away. You just want to you don't want to lose more than 1% of your 1 Bitcoin capital. So how much you're going to invest in that position that has a stop 10% away, meaning that if you enter the position and get stopped in the original stop, you're going to lose 10% of your position. That cannot be more than 1% of your total position. 10% of your position, you're going to put 0.1 Bitcoin. If you lose, you're going to lose 10% of 0.1 Bitcoin, which is going to be 0.01 Bitcoin, which happens to be 1% of your 1 Bitcoin. Okay, that's the most important thing. Except that people don't do it. And because of that, we have in our system, Terminal em Foque, we have placed so far a tool with which you can calculate that. All you have to do is pick this icon here, click and drag. So mark your stop. I'm going to put my stop down here. That's 106. I'm going to put a little lower than that, give some leeway to that. And then I'm going to mark my objective, which is right here. So that's my objective. And then, as I have informed the software that I have 2.08 Bitcoin, it's suggesting that I buy 9.58 Dash, which happens to be the coin of this chart, right? So meaning that, and with Bitcoin is beautiful because as it has 8 figures after the decimal point, you can calculate in the point of the pencil, as we say here in Brazil. With stocks, that cannot happen. I don't really know what happens in the States, but here in Brazil, you have to trade a multiple of 100 stocks. So you can't buy one stock of, say, our oil company Petrobras. You have to buy 100 stocks, and happens to all of the stocks traded in our Bovespa B3 now. So you have to calculate, and then you have to go down in order to don't go above 1%, right? In Bitcoin, no. In the crypto space, no, you can calculate accurately. So that's it. That's the most important thing. And then from here you go to trade, and then you'd have your slip already filled with the name of the crypto and the quantity and so on, and you then can rest assured that if the market goes against your position, you're going to lose 1%. You know what's to lose 1%? Nothing. You're going to survive. You're going to be happy when you enter your house. You're going to kiss your wife. You're going to kiss your husband. You're going to be happy with your kids. You're going to call your friends. You're going to be nice. You're going to laugh. And you're not going to be like that, you know? You have some friends that stay like that the whole day, looking at a fucking screen the whole day to see whether this is going up or down. And why is that? Because they overtrade, and to overtrade is the most practiced fault, mistake that traders do. Don't overtrade. Calculate the size of your position before you do it. If you don't have the calculator, if you don't have the mat, well, buy our system. That's a less than $100. Well, 100. That's less than $30 a month, and then you can have our tool to calculate it for you. Okay, back to business here. We're Dash, right? So Dash, and we're your cryptos, yeah. So that's it for Dash. We think it's going to go here up to 0.032323 over here, right? This next resistance level here. That's an accumulation pattern so far, and we're waiting to recommend it again. Now ITCOIN, well, it didn't give us any chance to enter a position. It was starting to flag up here, but then up it went. But now I think that's going to turn into maybe a flag. I don't know, a triangle, something. And it's probably going to do another upward movement, and we see if we catch that. We have it on site for that. Now LISC went up. This one gave us opportunities. So far we missed them, but anyway, I think it has reached so far its first Fibonacci correction levels. You can see here 30,000 satoshis. And let's see what it does from here on, because it's probably, even though if the market is continuing to drop, it should do an ABC here. So there is an opportunity here to catch whenever it goes to its next resistance level, which is over here. And if you catch it around here, that would mean another 130% upward movement. So that's why we're keeping an eye on it. Now Litecoin. So far we've been stopped out of Litecoin today as well. Unfortunately, let's take a look at the hourly chart here, see what happened. Well, you know, we entered here. That was a nice entry, and we placed the stop over here, and things happen, you know. So no problem. If the market breaks this level here, we probably entering it in the market again. Nah, no, probably not. Probably not. Let's take a look at the hourly chart here. Well, I'm very bullish in Litecoin because, well, first it's one of the top 10 crypto assets, and secondly, I think if Bitcoin is going up, it's going to be pulling all these most important coins. It's going to be pulling with it, you know, because people are going to try to enter Bitcoin, are going to take a look at the chart and going to find out that he so far has gone up a lot. and then they're going to take a look in the other coins that didn't go that far, didn't go up as much as Bitcoin, and Litecoin is one of them. But I was very bullish on Bitcoin because we had a descending triangle here that produced, after all, a bear trap, and then we had a flag here. So let's see what happens to these. Maybe this is going to turn into a, as you can see here, that could easily turn into a drift pattern. It's actually turning. If it doesn't close in the high today, I'm not going to be liking that anymore. So if it is really a drift pattern, we could have a pullback to this former resistance level that should produce support. So what if we would have a reversal candlestick pattern here? Then it would be great, because we would buy it over here and put a stop right below this reversal. So keeping an eye on Litecoin too. And then, well, it broke the resistance trend line, and now it's coming down back. Will it make a pullback? This looks like a reversal, but it could be a reversal for a pullback that happens. So let's see what happens. But you know, if we draw Fibonacci lines here, there's a lot of potential for it to go much further up. For instance, from where it is today to the first correction, yeah, well, not that much, but 48%. Keep an eye. Well, NEM broke this resistance trend line, and it's going sideways, and it's testing this resistance level that shoot it downwards last time it reached. Let's see if it flags up here, give us an opportunity to enter the market. Over here we couldn't buy because, you know, you wouldn't know whether it was going to break this resistance or not. Now in the hourly chart, maybe it produces a nice accumulation here. Whenever it breaks it, we can enter the market. Ripple, wow, Ripple's showing its claws again. So far we had a upward flag here and two very bullish candles. It is probably going to test these 3,700 satoshis, but nothing to do now. We have to wait until a flag up or something. Stellar, well, Stellar seems that it looks as if it has produced a bottom here, a double bottom here. I was just looking at this possibility here. Now, yeah, we could think of that. Yeah, I don't like to draw resistance trend lines that get too away from some parts of the downward trend, like this one here. You know, big holes in here. I don't like that. That's why that's why the trend was over here. Yeah, but then it's not very reliable. Anyway, the thing is, the bears had all the control, and then they failed on establishing a new bottom here, and that's the bears showing weakness. And so far the market has broken some these top, and these top here. So let's wait and see if it reaches these next resistance level and flags up and give us an opportunity to enter. Tezos, well, Tezos is big business because, you know, there's this huge sideways trend here, and the market went upwards, and it's flagging, sort of accumulating above that level. So that's very bullish. So we're expecting it to give us a signal, and then we're entering easily the market. And at least last is Tron, I suppose. No, there's a lot of other ones. Another three. There's the V letter also. Well, Tron is testing this resistance level here. It was apparently flagging up. See? And it's probably, depending on what happens today at 9 o'clock, it's probably giving us an indication that it's going to the next resistance level at 283. 283, that would mean 20% upward movement. Not very dramatic, but still important. Well, VeChain broke this resistance trend line from the strength channel, broke this other resistance trend line, and flagged up, and now it's going. So I think one should buy it and put it in the portfolio right now. That's 32% upward movement, or if it goes up there, 40% upward movement. So cheers for VeChain. I'm coming back and probably producing a recommendation on VeChain. Waves. Waves. Well, bears lost control here. Bulls took control. Market came down and now is kind of flagging up in these last stop here. Let's draw Fibonacci lines here, contraction lines. First Fibonacci correction level would be here, but I think the market would easily, if it breaks this level here, it would easily go to this next upward resistance, which would be an upward movement of 75%. If it just reaches the 0.382 Fibonacci retraction level, that would mean 55%. So keeping an eye on waves as well. And finally, Zcash. Zcash broke this resistance trend level with a symmetrical triangle, and now is flagging up or doing a rectangle up. So that's a very promising asset for you to, whenever it gives us an indication that it's escaping from this accumulation here, you just buy it back. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching the video until now. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for you to be advised whenever I upload new videos. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Tell your friends. Help us grow the channel. And I'll see you next time. Ciao. And for you that don't know what ciao means, that's bye in Portuguese, my native language. By the way, tell me in the comments where you're from. I really appreciate knowing that there's people from far away that watches our video. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.